So recently I finally got around to watching the latest installment in the Fast and Furious franchise, Fast X. But we're not here today to talk about Fast X. I actually had an idea to go back and catch up on where the whole series began, where it all started, the Fast and the Furious. Now, this first film in the franchise really was what got everybody's juices flowing in terms of street racing, the cars, women. And after going back to a time when Paul Walker was doing Blue Steel and Vin Diesel could actually lose a fight, it made me realize that there's really something magical and special about the Fast and the Furious. This is back in a time when not every single movie coming out from Hollywood was just another clone of the past with trying to create a superhero world. I recently watched the Nerdstalgic video talking about when Dominic Toretto stopped being human, and it really made me think about back to the original movie that it's really honestly crazy when the main characters don't have superpowers because it actually introduces stakes. And stakes is really the main point of this video. It's something that has really been lacking in recent Hollywood films, especially Fast X or even F9 as well. Really, most of the recent installments in the Fast and Furious franchise where superheroes can't lose fights, they can't die, and no Hollywood production wants to kill off a series or kill off a character in a series because well, we have to make another sequel, and they have to come back and keep everybody who loves that character happy, but this really ends up tearing down the writing of the film and tears down, once again, coming back to the stakes. The stakes in the original Fast and Furious franchise are just so much more realistic and so much more heightened that you could expect in that film compared to really most of what's even coming out in Hollywood today in the era of the 2020s. And ultimately, when characters don't have stakes, they aren't as relatable. It's hard to feel something in common with a character that has superpowers and doesn't have any real-world problems. And this even makes me think back to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films where Peter Parker really was just worried about paying his rent.
Rent?
Again, today, when characters and movies lose that relatability factor, it's hard to really get invested in characters or even the film itself. Ultimately, they have to resort, in terms of Hollywood, to bigger budgets and bigger action set pieces just to up the stakes and up the ante, but it just becomes less and less relatable when you're looking at the characters and looking at every scene and just overall enjoyment when it comes to actually caring about these characters. And again, the original Fast and Furious movie really brings everything back down to a small scale, character-focused entry that really just makes everything mesh together much better. The chemistry between Vin Diesel and Paul Walker is there. Even all the other side characters, you feel like you have a lot more investment in them because ultimately you don't know if they're going to make it out of this film. And to the point of a smaller scale film, you really get a feel for the actual family elements that were introduced into this film in a much more stronger sense beyond and before the times of the meme around family.
I don't have friends. I got family.
And every single action sequence in this film just feels a lot more tense and a lot more realistic because you actually can feel relatable and care about the characters. Everything just feels a lot more grounded in reality, of course, aside from the NOS and the crazy fast scenes where you're speeding faster than realistic. It still feels a lot more realistic than some of the newer entries in the Fast and Furious franchise. And again, that extra layer of realism really comes back to stakes. When the characters feel in peril or in danger, you feel just a lot more stakes for those characters, and you feel like, hey, they actually are in danger, instead of when characters seem to be ultimately invincible in the latest superhero level entries in not only the Fast and Furious franchise, but also in a lot of other blockbuster Hollywood films today, where superhero level action stars seem to own the box office. And you know, ultimately at the end of the day, I get it. Look, Hollywood is a business. They want to make money. The more and more that Fast and Furious movies, or really a lot of other movies as well, become more mass appeal or broad appeal, they can reach a larger audience. And at the end of the day, it's a business and they're out to make money. But if you want to catch something that's a little more niche, a little more underground, then I would highly recommend giving the original Fast and Furious movie a watch. For me, it's one of my favorite movies from my childhood, and it was a great time going back and watching this movie again just to check and make sure that for me, it's a 10 out of 10 or 5 stars on Letterboxd. And look, I get that the overall critical reception of this movie may be not necessarily the greatest, but for me, it's a perfect movie. And to the point of the cars, that really was what inspired a whole new generation of car enthusiasts and race enthusiasts in general, from different racing video games as well that came along after this movie. Video games like Midnight Club LA Complete Edition really could bring me closer and closer to almost living out the whole Fast and Furious lifestyle and movie. From racing for a few $1,000s to pink slips and owing somebody a car, there's something really just special about this movie and about the culture surrounding this movie that really makes it, again, one of my favorites. Hey, what is up, guys? Brensky here. I hope you enjoyed my very first film critique, review, video essay that I've ever done on this channel here today. Of course, I hope and plan to come out with more videos like this one. This is sort of a test, this is sort of a test in my first video like this. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to smash that like button. Comment down below what your favorite Fast and Furious movie, or heck, even your just favorite movie in general is. I love to talk about films and movies. Of course, this is a movie buff type channel now, and for all those filmmaker fancies out there who enjoy film and want to share their passion for movies in general. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this. If you want to see more, let me know. Maybe some other movies I should make videos about. Of course, I will be sharing my opinions on things and what I like, what I dislike, and really just overall critiques about movies. So, if you're into movies, definitely be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell as well. Of course, if you want to follow me on Letterboxd, that will be linked down in the description box as well. It's at Brensky with 2 eyes, and of course, 2 eyes is better than 1. So, hey, my other username was taken. I figured, go with that. And of course, every one of you early subscribers are helping me get this channel monetized. Of course, this channel currently is not monetized. I do want to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark and 4,000 hours of watch time. So every one of you guys watching this video is helping me get to that goal with this channel. I want to get this channel monetized so I can continue to bring this type of content to you guys, of course, and I like talking about movies, talking about film, so of course, you can expect more of that. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.